Right, so let's inspire you with purpose now that the bellies are full. You can take a quick nap, but then you get back to your purpose-driven work. And certainly Absa is helping us do that. They're embarking on a month of giving, undertaking or participating in a number of amazing initiatives to support community welfare and empowerment. We're talking about the baseline of human existence and inspired by their ethos, which lives in every element of what they do. Your story matters. Well, one story really does matter, and that is, of course, of Tata Madiba, and it is birthday. We celebrate by trying to emulate in some way his ethos, and they're participating with the Mandela Legacy Ride for Hope. And here to tell us more is the Managing Executive of Corporate Citizenship at Absa, Dr. Stephen Zwane. Doc, first of all, thanks for braving the elements just to get you this morning. We really appreciate it. But it speaks to the level of commitment that from bottom to top your organization has to supporting and empowering your market. I love it, and I've seen this come to bear in a number of different ways. So clearly your story really does matter at the moment, so I love that. But when we talk about the Nelson Mandela Legacy Ride for Hope campaign, out of all of the purpose-driven movements that you could jump on, what was it about this one that really struck a chord?
I think first and foremost, thank you very much for having us.
Pleasure, ma'am.
One of the most important things that represents us as a country and that represents the journey of Nelson Mandela is resilience.
Yeah.
And the Legacy Ride for Hope is really about testing your personal resilience. Imagine being on the bike for 550 kilometers. Oof. And those stories of resilience for us resonate with us as an organization, firstly because it's done for a purpose. Yeah. The riders are riding so that there could be social good in communities. And that's what we are about. We want to be a force for good in everything we do. And we say every step we take, the story matters. And in this instance, the story of the communities, the story of the riders, and the fact that this is endorsed by the Nelson Mandela Foundation makes a lot of sense for us.
No, for sure. I keep using the term around Mandela Day of plug and play. Make it as easy as you can for people to do good, and they'll do it. Absolutely. I firmly believe we will all make that choice if just given the opportunity. And I've also got to meet people along the way with like the Run Your City event to hear those stories. And it's amazing when you connect one-on-one with your citizens. So how does this one play out? How does the mechanism actually work?
I think the mechanics of it is that Ride for Hope is there. It exists as a social enterprise. We are partnering with Ride for Hope. We are partnering with the Nelson Mandela Foundation. The riders will be riding from Howick, the capture side of Mandela, right up until to his home, Ikunu.
Wow.
And I think along the way, they'll be stopping in communities, making a change in every community. We've got a program called Classroom for Hope, which means in every place that we stop, we'll be able to make a difference in whether we build a classroom or whether we are contributing in any shape or form in each and every one of those steps.
I also realize there's something in the notion, and the value exchange goes both ways. Yeah. When you do something like this, it fills your cup up.
Of course.
And that's a long ride to be thinking about what Madiba sacrificed to get us to this point. So I love that. We're going to have those cognitive moments, but those little moments of a child, for instance, having that attention, knowing that that community cares enough to do this for them, that's a core memory kind of experience for them and for those doing it. So how are you wanting to involve? You've touched on a couple of the touch points. How can people get on board and connect and be a part of this?
I think for us as an organization, we're saying there are many ways we are driving social change. Colleagues are part of them in many ways. Like, for example, today we are joining the Josie, My Josie community, cleaning up Johannesburg City Centre.
Brilliant.
And colleagues are coming out in numbers. And anyone who feels like, I want to be a part of this is welcome to join in. And in the different stages of the race that we're riding as part of the Ride for Hope, there will be enough information that says we are stopping at the stop now. Please come in, be a part of it. But I think you are raising an important point. When somebody does something that is great and it can link with the person that benefits from it, I think it's magical. For that 15 minutes, you feel like the world belongs to you.
Yeah, I call it alchemy, turning lead into gold.
Absolutely.
That it really does feel like that, because I'm often the custodian of these moments during the TV time. And I get to then be attached to that. It strikes me that you've crossed a threshold here that is highlighted by Mandela Day. You do this not just for 67 minutes on this day, you do it every day.
Correct.
Because it adds value. What is that value when you see the change in your colleagues, and I see it lived by all of you guys, so I know it's authentic. But more importantly, when you see the change within your market, your clients, your community, why is this such a powerful thing, do you think?
You know, as a corporation, we have a duty and a responsibility to lift society. To move society forward, to make society better. And we do that because it's a responsibility we have, but more importantly, because it's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
I mean, I want to give you an example that last Friday we went to a school called Rapila Secondary School in Orange Farm, where we donated 1,500 portable solar lights.
Oh, brilliant.
Now, that whole school came to a standstill that moment we came in. And we saw the light in the kids' eyes to say there's hope, there's possibility.
Pride.
And for us, we bring hope, we bring possibility. But more importantly, we want to be a force for good in everything we do. Whether we do it in Johannesburg or we do it in Kenya, we do it in Cape Town, we want to leave a lasting legacy of impact in every community in which you operate.
Yeah, and that impact and how we measure that has changed radically because big corporates are putting their money and their bodies and their hands, and in this case, their calves and their quads, where their mouths are. So, Doc, thank you so much for leading the charge. You guys have provided a beautiful true north for the rest of us to follow today and every day. But let's use Mandela for our inspiration today. And I think his words really do resonate deeply in this case. A fundamental concern for others in our individual and community lives would go a long way in making the world the better place we see so passionately and how we have dreamt of that. It is this world that Absa is trying to create by participating in a myriad of these kinds of initiatives. So join them, join the movement. The Nelson Mandela Legacy Ride for Hope race will take place from the 4th to the 7th of September 2024. So you've got a little bit of time to start training. But for more information, you can, on how to enter and how to support, go to legacyrideforhope.com.
There are stories of strivers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. Absa.